Hey guys, welcome into this Panther preview, episode 3 of the spring edition. I'm Frank Corder filling in for Harold Tillman today, joined by Pascagoula head coach Lewis Sims. Coach Sims, good to see you today.
Hey, good to be here. Thanks for being here, Frank.
Before we get started, I want to kind of give a shout out to Miss Andrea Tillman, Harold. They couldn't be here today. Andrea's been having some health issues, but she's pulling through. We're still praying for her, so just a quick shout out to her. So anyway, back to spring edition. We've been discussing over the past few weeks what you guys are doing to prep for not just this spring but also in the fall. So far you've talked about your spring conditioning, your workouts, all those kind of things. Now we're after spring break, so that puts a little more impetus, if you will, on the spring game, on actual spring training. How's that going?
Oh, it's going really good. We're very excited about where we are from a training standpoint. Today we're out here, we're working on change of direction and explosiveness on the field, and then when we get into the weight room, we're going a little bit heavier on our workouts today, kind of getting a little bit more explosive power going. But like I said, we've programmed everything to where as we get closer in the next 3 weeks, we'll start getting into our in-season / spring training workout, to where we'll be spending a little bit more time outside working on the individual things that will help us go into spring ready to hit the ground running as soon as that first whistle blows on April 25th.
So April 25th, as you're saying, that's the first spring training. The spring game is scheduled for?
May 13th. We're going to play, right now it looks like it's Van Cleve and Fairhope are coming over. So we'll play against them. We'll have our early games. We'll do our JV first. Kind of go, a set number of plays because we have a little bit more control over that. Making sure that they get looks, everybody gets to look, everybody gets to play. And then I think it's going to start out with Van Cleve will go against or Fairhope, and then we'll go against Fairhope, and then we'll go against Van Cleve at the end. And just what that's going to do is just get a set number of plays, put us in some situations, get us some competition, seeing things go full speed, and building to that. We want to see what kind of growth we've had in the spring, and really looking at how well what we're doing now translates into what we want to do come fall.
Sure.
And really and truly, spring football to me is all about finding out, who's gonna bite,
right.
Who's gonna go out, who's gonna bite, who's gonna buy in to learn the things we need them to learn, and then from there, who can apply what they've done in the off season to execution on the field. And that's something that's always exciting. Spring football is so much fun, and as it gets closer, your blood gets pumping a little more, and we're very fortunate we're going to be able to go and spend some time with the Florida State football staff this week, and
great.
So we're going to go in bed with them and kind of look behind the curtain and kind of see how they do things. We were able to go over and watch South Alabama practice last week during spring break, and got some things that number one, solidified what we've been doing.
Right.
And number two, got some good ideas on how we can tweak things to be better at what we do. And I think that's it. When you go to a clinic, you go to watch somebody practice.
Right.
If you come out with a couple of things that you can apply to your team, then you've been successful. Because we can't do everything that they do, and simply from a manpower issue and an athlete issue.
Right.
I mean, those guys are on scholarship for a reason, and they get out there and they have a lot more emphasis on some things that we don't put as much emphasis on. But to see them, the way they practice, the speed at which they practice, their period setup, the way they run the football, those are things that we constantly push here. Having fast practices, doing small snippets of things and moving to something else, and then really coaching off the video. And like right now, we're filming our cuts on the cones. We're going to be able to coach off this, whereas if we coached each individual kid out here on the field, it would take an hour to do what we do in 20 minutes. So you can take that time, you can coach on the film, and then each kid can get better individually. And I think we've done a much better job of doing that over the last couple of years.
A couple just, I saw that, over in South Alabama, speaking of South Alabama, a couple Pascagoula kids made it good over there. Jackson and also Williams is over there from Resurrection as well.
Yep, you got Sam Williams from RCS, and then you have James Jackson from Pascagoula there. James right now penciled in as the #1 center.
Yep.
Doing a really phenomenal job. He spent 4 years at Mississippi State, was able to earn his degree from the Bulldogs.
Right.
Transferred with the COVID year, was able, and his redshirt year, he still had 2 seasons left. So last year he was starting center for South Alabama. This year I think his goal is to be a Sun Belt All center, Sun Belt All offensive lineman, and just watching him go over there and be the leader of that offensive line just warmed my soul.
And it's good for you guys as coaches to get out and go to these clinics, not only as you say to do that, but also to kind of get our kids some exposure too.
Right. One thing I got to give a shout out to Coach Hollis. He's done a phenomenal job of taking the pictures, the photos that we take here during August, and turning those into profiles for our players, and we've been able to send those out to hundreds of colleges all across the country.
And been successful too.
And really making sure that our guys are getting the exposure that they need.
Right.
And again, it's more than just exposure. It's about exposure and then putting the film to go with the size and the measurables that go along with that. And now college coaches have that in their hand. They have it on their phone.
Right.
They have it in their emails. And it's really what a lot of people might pay $800-900 to get done through another service. We're doing that free for our kids because it's part of what we do and who we are, and making sure that our kids have that exposure.
So you've heard it here first. May 13th is the spring game. Pencil it in. Get ready to come out and watch some Pascagoula football right here at Memorial Stadium, correct? Right, be right here, right? So come out and enjoy some Panther football. Coach, thanks for your time today.
Hey,
we're going to go visit with Coach Hollis and Coach Bishop right after this, so stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to this Panther preview. I'm here now with Coach Bishop. Coach Bishop is in charge of our defense. He's our D coordinator. Coach Bishop, how is this spring training going for y'all?
Right now in the weight room, we're getting after it. As you can see, we're probably doing a lot of speed work, and we're getting a lot faster on the football field. Hopefully, that's going to lead to some success in the fall.
As far as our strength training, our defense is sometimes they talk about the strength training and how strong people are. How's that going for you guys?
Pretty good. We've got some kids that's kind of stood out this spring. Josh Battles is probably one of the strongest kids I've ever been around. Jeffrey Rush, upcoming juniors, far and away one of the better kids that we've got. So the weight room, defensively speaking, a lot of the young kids that we were counting on last year are putting in work in the weight room.
How's our linebackers and our secondary looking so far?
Really well. At one point last year, I looked on the film and we had 10 out of 11 first-year players. And most of those guys were skill guys, on the back end. And I don't say that as an excuse for how poorly we played, but I think it's going to be a good thing as far as the experience that they had. And as far as our linebackers go, the guys that we got coming back are in the weight room and they're putting in the work that they have to do. On the back end, we got a couple kids playing baseball that's losing a little bit of time in the weight room, but we're not going to hold that against them.
So as far as going into the spring game on May 13th, what are you looking for? What are you kind of keying off on to make sure of what you're seeing out of these kids?
Well, like I said, we want to build on what we had last year. We had so many guys that were first-year producers.
Right.
We also want to see some of these guys that we're expecting to kind of take that next level, next step. Jeffrey Rush he's got a couple offers this spring, and it's about time for him to kind of start dominating the game. Josh Battles needs to kind of step up his game.
Right.
So we're going to be, as far as I'm concerned. I'm looking for these older guys to kind of step up and take a leadership role.
Yeah.
And kind of bring those younger kids along with them.
And just moving past spring in the summer, what's your summer routine look like?
Pretty much the same as the spring. Get in the weight room, get a little bit more conditioning, especially since we're getting close to the football game. But get on the field as much as we can and get through the drills and kind of finalize that depth chart.
Gotcha. Well, Coach, thanks for your time. We'll come back and we'll be speaking with Coach Hollis after this. Welcome back to this Panther preview. I'm here now with Coach Hollis. Coach Hollis, you're our line coach, but also Coach Sims said that you've been doing a lot of promo for our players during this off season. Let's talk first about the line. How's it looking so far?
I'm excited what we got coming back. I got 3 full-time starters coming back. Jeremy Flora, Jadarius Robbins, got about 46 starts between the two of them. Tristan Fortenberry's back. We're excited about him. He started every game for me at left tackle. We got 3 full-time starters. Zach Kammer is a guy that's returning. He played some for us last year as a junior. He'll be a senior this year. He's going to really step up and probably fill a role for us. Then we got some young guys. I got 2 sophomores, Ryan Glaude, Chris Taylor, that I think are going to fill some roles and be able to help us with depth. And then I got about 4 juniors, Tyler Maxwell, Colin Hollings, Quentin Johnson, and Lamont Harris that we're going to count on to kind of have some depth and things like that for us. So we're excited what we got going.
So I'm filling in for Harold today, and Harold always likes to talk about centers. So how's your centers looking?
Centers are looking good. They've actually been working with our quarterback, staying 2-3 days a week, snapping, getting that down. We got Colin Hollings, Tyler Maxwell, Chris Taylor, Zach Kammer's been staying. So we got 4 or 5 that have been staying. The snaps have been much better, and we're something we're going to keep working on and get better at.
As far as your time during this spring, what are you guys focusing on most?
The biggest thing right now for us is just going to be focused on getting better at the fundamentals, footwork, hands, being aggressive, things like that. We can teach. I tell guys all the time, I can teach scheme, I can teach your plays. The fundamentals are the things that we've got to get, inbred in us and get better at. So
Coach Sims mentioned also that you've kind of taken it under your hat, if you will, to kind of help promo our guys. We've seen some good offers over this spring. What kind of got you fired up about that?
Well, just seeing the things that have been going on and being on Twitter and seeing the offer posts and the different things that schools are doing, and I just felt like we needed to adapt and get better with that. And that's something it doesn't cost nothing, it doesn't hurt nothing, and so I just took it upon myself and just wanted to really promote our guys in our program because I think we have something special here. I think we have special kids that need to be seen, and we've sent over probably 1,000 emails and DMs and texts and phone calls to different coaches, and there's going to be no stone unturned with this for us anymore.
Well, one thing I also want to mention is that you used to play here as well as a player, and so talk a minute about playing here, coming back and coaching, and kind of what that means to you.
It means everything to me. Anybody that knew me at 15, 16 years old will tell you my plan in life was to be a teacher and coach at Pascagoula High School. So to be able to do that every day is truly a dream come true. And I know that's a term everybody uses, but for me it is. I mean, this program means so much to me, and I tell anybody, I don't care if it's Lewis Sims, the head coach, or whoever. I said it's about the kids in this program, not about any coach.
Right.
And that's what I care about. It's Pascagoula football. That's my program.
Well, Coach Hollis, thanks for your time. Thanks for what you do for our kids, and thank you for watching here on this Panther Preview Spring Edition. We'll be back in a few weeks with that 4th episode detailing what's happening as the spring game comes closer. And don't forget, mark your calendars, spring game is May 13th right here at the War. We'll see you next time.